Let's explore the depth and dimensions of these simple terms: work, labor, slavery, and service. Of course, profession too. These are simple terms but needs a thorough exploration. All of us use these terms quite often, but without much of a serious thinking. What's the difference between job and service? First, let's observe. The difference is immense and it needs to be highlighted. We very often mix things and land in sound confusion, and the lack of clarity is definitely a major issue. Job or labor is something that is done to gain profit or reward in the form of a salary or wage. This is for our livelihood. To earn bread, better to say. To live comfortably in a house, to satisfy physical and physiological or even psychological needs. Earning money is the ultimate objective behind work or labor. There are mainly three different kinds of labor or jobs. 1. Agriculture. 2. Business. 3. Skilled labor. For the purpose of categorization, let's say all these are done purely to gain money or profit. You may disagree with me, but let's resolve the issue. Agriculture demands a person to work with natural resources, natural products, and then he makes a profit out of it. Mainly it is about production. Agriculture is all about production. Business enterprises devise methods to sell and buy the produced goods. Mainly it's all about distribution. All channels of distribution come under this category. That is business, including the agricultural products. Skilled labor, on the other hand, is all about doing work with hands. Skilled hands, such as carpentry, masonry, stitching, plumbing, repairing, driving, cleaning, beautification, and 1,000 other mechanical labors. It's all about working with hands and skills. Sometimes even the brain is not required for it, not an exaggeration. We have seen when the work is mechanical, automation sets into our limbs. We do not have to think much and everything happens spontaneously. Driving is an example for it. Or look at the speedy skilled work done in a factory. No need of any conscious involvement. If such is the case, let's forget about the role of our sweet heart. I mean sincerity and devotion. We can do that sort of work without the need of any heart involvement even. Anyways, all these kinds of works or jobs are very much required in the world. But service, when we talk about service is a superior term, a divine one. It stands tall all over these three categories of labor. In service, the ingredients are all sublime, of a higher nature. First, there is a large quantity of voluntarism involved in it. A large sum of interest and involvement and enthusiasm involved. Any doubt? In service, we do things out of true love and compassion. We do it because, in the first place, it benefits others. It serves the community at large. It helps the people nearby. And definitely, it helps the doer himself. He finds greater contentment and job satisfaction when he realizes that what he does good to others. The mere thought of it makes him much more pleasant. So service is much more significant and meaningful than labor or job. True, in service sector also, we are paid. But the priority is not set on monetary gain. The money gained is only a byproduct. Of course, it is a sustenance much required. But the person is in it not because of the money or profit, for sure. Now the question, how many of us are in the service sector? The choice is ours. For example, teaching is a service, and a doctor's job should doubtlessly be regarded as a service. In fact, all other jobs other than those three mentioned above should be regarded as services. These services should never be regarded as labor or jobs. If they are treated as jobs, then that is the beginning of an end. The end of humanity, the end point of culture and civilization. On the other hand, we have a choice to upgrade and sublimate all the above mentioned jobs or services. Then the farmer produces food without poison. The mechanic repairs the car definitely to avoid further accidents. The chemist mixes medicines to delete all the diseases from the world. And the teacher teaches to enrich the society. We had a time, very ancient, when even the workers did their job with such love and devotion. And they never demanded money for their work. If ever any corruption has crept into our work domains, it is because the genuine concept of service is lost into thin air. If a hospital forgets the nobility of its existence, it collapses into a mere business establishment. Of course, many are in that condition. Those precious cultural values or the genuine human touch is mortgaged in a cheaper way, the soul bequeathed to the evil forces. Then what about slavery? People say it is abolished. We hate that very word slavery. In US it was shot, but the bullet hit the wrong place perhaps. Slavery is not yet killed, or perhaps not properly buried. Its stinging foul smell is felt in many places. Kindly pour a handful of mud at least wherever that smell rises. At least for humanity's sake, for the sake of cultural values, or for the sake of preserving human evolutionary intelligence. Profession, on the other hand, is a diplomatic word for some serious work. When we say he is highly professional, what exactly do we mean by that word? Does it mean he is truthful? He is genuine? Trustworthy? I do not know much. A professional receives a high salary as anyone. But I do not think he withdraws contentment and genuine appreciation from his mind bank. Just as we withdraw money from bank, from his mind bank, does he withdraw contentment and genuine appreciation? If life is all about living in healthy, happy, positive channels, it is always advisable to be in the service sector. If we have lost the greatness of service sector in our current times, both the employers and employees are equally responsible. It has happened because the employers thought of squeezing the last drop from the employees, forgetting the nature of his service, and the employee thought only of escaping the exploitation and taking revenge against his employers. Let us imagine a world very different, where all think wholeheartedly of raising our work values and keeping very high sublime attitudes, and that of raising even the mere labor to the higher level of services. It loudly speaks about the preservation of humanity and civilization. Remember the ancient saying, work is worship. No. Work may not be worship, but services are definitely like fragrant flowers offered to the divine in a holy temple or church.